Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria if you are new. Today we're going to be testing out the new Fenty Beauty Eaze Drop Blur and Smooth Tint Stick. Now when the Eaze Drop Blurring Skin Tint first came out, I did do a review and wear test. You can check that out here. So the new Skin Tint Foundation Stick is supposed to offer light coverage. It's supposed to be long wear, instantly blurs while melting into skin for a natural finish. It is also supposed to be crease-proof, help with all-day hydration, and resist oxidation. So we're going to try it out today and do a wear test. I've basically been waiting all day for UPS to deliver it. It was supposed to be delivered yesterday. It's already 6:12 p.m., but I am a night owl, so I'm probably going to be up anyway. So I'll try to do at least like an 8-hour wear test. If I remember correctly, and I did go back and rewatch my first wear test of the liquid Eaze Drop skin tint, and my face really showed a lot of oil throughout the day. So I'm curious to see how this formula is going to be different with my skin type. I am combination, so I do get a little bit oily in my T-zone, and my cheeks are normal to dry. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, so I got the shade 10, which is a medium with warm yellow undertones. I think I kind of just went based off of the models that were wearing it, so hopefully it's a good match. So my face is washed. The only thing that I really have on it is snail mucin, which I mean doesn't really feel like anything after it's been absorbed. So on one side of my face, I'm going to kind of prep my face how I would normally. So for primer, I mostly just use the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray from Charlotte Tilbury. And then the other side, I'm not going to have any primer. I will use setting powder, but that's going to be pretty much it as far as prepping or setting goes. I also like to use a little bit of the Milk Pore Eclipse mattifying primer in my T-zone. So I'm going to do that on this half of my face as well. The tiniest amount, and I just kind of press it into the sides of my nose, my upper lip, and on my chin, a little bit on my forehead. Okay, so right off the bat, there is not a lot in here. Like, this is all the way rolled up. It is light to medium coverage, and you can kind of see that I have a lot of like dark spots. My skin tone is a little uneven, so I tend to use quite a bit. Like, light coverage products don't really work for me, or at least they're not my preference. So we'll kind of see how this goes. Actually, like a really good match, I would say. I have like the urge to just go over my entire face with it, just a little bit. And by a little bit, I obviously mean a lot of it. Trying to do less on this side. So it says to either blend with your fingers, use the full body foundation brush, or for extra blurring benefits, press into skin with the precision makeup sponge. I never really prefer using my fingers, so I'm just gonna go with the brush and maybe the sponge, and that's how I would normally blend my foundation in. I'm gonna use a Sigma F80 brush. Going on very beautifully. It's almost kind of like self-setting. It almost kind of looks like a satin matte. I'm feeling like I need to work in sections because it doesn't move around a lot, which I don't mind. Maybe if I use my fingers, it would kind of warm up a bit and be able to kind of like be pushed around. But I'm actually enjoying the brush. I'm gonna try to use my fingers just for like a section to kind of see. Okay, that looks pretty good too. Okay, I'm gonna keep using my brush. I almost don't feel like I need to go back in, but I will just for a little bit more coverage, see if we can build it up. Okay, and I will use a sponge to go over those areas for that extra blurring effect that a sponge is supposed to have. And this is a pretty dry sponge. Also set for fuller coverage to put it directly onto the brush. I'm gonna try that. I feel like the sponge was picking it up a little bit on my nose. It could be just because the sponge was dry. Okay, so first impression. I think I like it a lot more than the original Eaze Drop skin tint. I don't really use stick foundations, but this went on very beautifully. I actually like that it didn't move around a lot as I was blending, so it just kind of worked in sections and made sure that it looked nice and blurred before moving on. It almost feels self-setting, like not a lot is coming up when I touch my face, and it looks very natural. So I'm excited to see how it wears throughout the day. I think it did a really good job covering up a lot of my imperfections. It could be because of the amount that I used. I did not use a small amount. It feels really light on the skin. I don't tend to go for stick foundations because the ones that I have tried seem very heavy. They feel very, very present on the skin, but this one is I'm impressed. Okay, so let's finish the rest of my face. I want to be very mindful of the products that I use. I don't want it to affect the foundation too much. So I'm going to start with the Hourglass Vanish Airbrush Concealer, and this one's in the shade Beach. I love this concealer. It goes on pretty like full coverage, and it's pretty mattifying, which is kind of what I want. I don't want anything too hydrating that'll kind of affect the foundation. I've been having really bad experiences with at-home waxing kits, and my skin scars very easily. That's why I have these like dark scars, like spots around my lip. Also, this is going to be kind of the first impressions of the new Juvia's Place Bronze, the Bronzed Cream Bronzer, and I'm so excited to use it. It looks so beautiful. And I got the shade Caramel. I'm just going to take it with a dense brush like this. Oh my god. I think I just found my new favorite bronzer. That is so beautiful. I'm not going to get over this. For blush, I'm going to be using the Rare Beauty Soft Pinch blush in the shade Hope. Okay, everything has blended beautifully with the foundation so far. And now I'm going to go ahead and set my face. Whenever I test a new foundation, I always go with the Laura Mercier setting powder. I feel like it is the perfect setting powder to get the job done and not mess with the formula of any concealer or foundation, making sure I'm not setting any creases. I'm gonna go ahead and quickly finish my eyes and my lips. Okay, makeup is done. We are now gonna see how it continues to wear, because right now it looks amazing. I first applied the foundation about maybe 30 minutes ago, maybe a little bit more. So it's 7:10 p.m. right now. I'll do a check-in in about 2 hours and see how we're looking. Okay, so first check-in, it is 9:13, so it's been over 2 hours, probably like 2.5, since I first started applying the foundation. So I have not touched it up at all. This is a close-up or a reminder. I primed this side with the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray and a little bit of a mattifying primer on my nose. I do feel like this side of my nose is looking a lot better. I feel like especially right here on this side, I'm starting to see a little bit of breakage, and right underneath my nose, I'm seeing some breakage as well. Nothing crazy. I still feel like it looks really good. My smile lines are starting to show a little bit, but nothing too bad. The rest of my face still looks really good. I haven't really done anything crazy. We actually drove to go eat, and it was about 100 degrees outside, and I made sure to have the windows down, the AC off. I wanted to kind of put this to the test in the heat, at least just a little bit, because for the rest of the night, I'm gonna be taking it pretty easy, staying inside, and not doing a whole lot. Okay, so I'll probably check in another maybe 2-3 hours and see how we're looking. Okay, so this is the next check-in. It is 12:19, so it's been almost 6 hours since I first started putting it on. Honestly, it's not looking too bad. I would normally do a touch-up right about now because the separation on my nose is becoming a little bit more prominent, especially under my nose. My smile lines don't look much different than the 2-hour mark, which is good. I'm just a little bit more shiny than I was the last check-in, which is to be expected. I accidentally touched my face here. With the original Eaze Drop Skin Tint, I was a lot more shiny. So I would say this one is holding up a lot better for my skin type, at least. My first thoughts with this check-in would be I would powder a little bit more and maybe use a little bit more primer around my T-zone. I'll probably do one more check-in in about 2, maybe 3 hours to give my final thoughts. Okay, it is the final check-in of the night. It is 2:27. I am tired. I'm ready to go to bed. So this is how we're finishing off 8 hours of wear of the new Fenty Beauty Eaze Drop foundation stick. It does not look terrible. It doesn't look like I just put it on, that's for sure. But if I was normally wearing this, I would have been touching it up. And honestly, I think with touch-ups, I would have been completely fine. I did get progressively more dewy, a little bit more shiny. There was a bit progression with the separation around my nose and mouth area, but honestly, I don't think it's too bad. My cheeks held up really good. I was touching my chin a little bit, so it's kind of a little faded here. Honestly, there's no fading around my nose. Like, it is slightly separated, but it's not faded, which is good. Okay, so final thoughts. It went on beautifully. I think for the most part, it wore beautifully. I think this would be a really good foundation for normal to dry skin type, but if you are a combination or really oily, just kind of beware. If the original Eaze Drop Skin Tint was too glowy for you, I think this would be a really good alternative. I'm curious to see how long tube this size would last me, because again, it doesn't seem like it comes with a lot. It is 0.32 ounces. If you're going to be using this for a lot of coverage and building it up like I do, it might not last as long, but for a high-end foundation, it is only $35, which is still pricey, but it is definitely not the most expensive foundation out there. I love the packaging. I didn't mention this earlier, but it's very lightweight and it seems really easy to travel with. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you guys are going to pick it up, if you already did, let me know your thoughts. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next time.